Good evening to Dr. Rohayu, binti Abdul Ghani, and my fellow friends. Okay, today we will be presenting on a presentation titled Proton Holdings Berhad, and we are from Group 3. For that, I would like to introduce you to my group members, which begins from Nerma, Taha, Sasikala, Shanmuga, Priya, Lutfie, Al-Husni, and myself, Sharween, Vinod. Okay. For the introduction of company, I will pass it over to Sasikala.
Thank you, Sharween. Introduction of company of the Proton. Next slide. Proton Malaysia, also known as Proton Holding Berhad, is a Malaysian automotive company that specializes in the manufacturing of cars. Established in 1983, Proton is the first national car manufacturer in Malaysia and has played a significant role in the country's automotive industry. Later reverted to semi-private ownership under DRB Highcom, based on technology and parts from Mitsubishi Motor and design inspired by Alfa Romeo. Production of the first model, the Proton Saga, began in September 1985 as its first manufacturing plant in Shah Alam, Selangor. As a leading automotive company in Malaysia, Proton has made a substantial contribution to the country's industrial development and job creation. Next, I pass to Sharween.
Thank you, Sasikala. So, the next part of discussion will be the influence of general environment in Proton. Okay, general environment or macro environment is the variety of factors beyond an organization's control that affect their operations and performance. External influences determine whether there is a setback or business opportunities in the marketplace. General environment forces are external factors that influence the success of a company's operations. Managers or executive uses PESTEL analysis tool, which stands for political, economic, socio-cultural, technology, environment, and legal, to further understand the factors that affect an industry. So the next part, we will be discussing further on the influences of general environment in Proton using the PESTEL analysis. So in terms of political, there is significant factor which influences Proton sales in the competitive market, influenced by political certainty in Malaysia. And political certainty affects the growth of Proton as well. So Malaysia has also a good political condition and, of course, a good business growth. Okay, the next part will be economic condition. Proton sales fell year to year due to economic conditions. Global recessions affected the Malaysian financial status in the automotive sector. Expected slow economic growth that affects buying behavior of Proton cars. Okay, Proton created cars as per the customer segmentation. Next will be the socio-cultural. Population is another factor that affects the automobile industry. Ratio of car ownerships are high, which presents the people's inclination to buy Proton cars. Established public transport such as rail, road, and air network also affects the social factor and growth of Proton. So the next part will be technology. Development in technology is the most beneficial factor for performance and position of Proton. Technology is a demand of the current market that influences sales of Proton cars. Proton has a high potential to grow in the competitive market due to innovations and technology. The next part will be environment. Proton's environment affected car segment sales and growth in the competitive market. Various environment cultures brings to the future of Proton. Positive environment influences to Proton's business model in the market. So the last part will be legal. Okay. Proton's strong legal system has influence to the survival of the company. Compliance with the legal procedures is mandatory for Proton in order to remain relevant in the automotive industry. Okay, this is all for my part. I will pass next part to Nerma.
Thank you, Sharween. Next, we will talk about the difference between environmental complexity and dynamism in Proton company. Environment complexity in Proton, it refers to the degree of interdependence and diversity of factors in the external environment that affect a company operation. It is access the number and intricacy of external elements that a company must consider, such as competitors, customers, suppliers, regulation, and technological advancement. It is involved factors like the competitive landscape of the automotive industry, customer preference and demands, government regulation related to the automobile sector, the availability of skilled labor, and technology advancement in the automotive industry. For proton external dynamism, it refers to the degree of unpredictability and change in the external environment over time. It is measure the speed and extent of changes occurring in the factor that affect a company. This change can arise from shift in technologies, consumer preference, regulation, economic condition, or in industry trends. It is involved the rate of technology advancement in automotive sector, change in consumer preference for electric vehicle or autonomous driving, involving government regulation related to emission or safety standard, and economic fluctuation affecting to automobile industry. That's all from me. I pass to Miss Priya.
Thank you, Emma. I will explain about complexity, dynamism, and used to access proton. Next slide, please. Complexity refers to the level of intersection and interconnectedness within an organization. In a proton organization, complexity may arise due to the interplay of different teams working on various projects with multiple stakeholders and competing demands. This can include the number of departments, the variety of products or services offered, the number of employees, and the degree of independence between different parts of organization. Next, please. Complexity dynamism refer to the speed and frequency of change within an organization. This can include changes in the market, changes in technology, changes in consumer preference, and changes in internal processes. In a proton organization, dynamism may arise due to the need to adapt the change in market condition, stay up to date with evolving technologies, and respond to shifting customer demand. By accessing complexity and dynamism in Proton may involve developing flexible structure that allow to rapid decision making and experimentation, empowering employee to make autonomous decisions, fostering a culture of innovation and creativity, and leveraging technology to automate routine task and improve efficiency. Accessing complexity and dynamism in a Proton organization requires adapting an agile mindset, developing a flexible organizational structure, fostering a culture, innovation, leveraging technology, and prioritizing communication and collaboration. That's all from me. I will pass to Lutfie.
Thank you, Priya. Now I will explain about the adapting complexity and dynamism. Next slide. Adapting to complexity and dynamism is crucial for any organization, including Proton Berhad, to thrive in a rapidly changing business environment. So in order to adapt to this complex and dynamic environment, Proton needs to adapt a number of strategies. This include, first one is the focusing on its core competency. Proton needs to identify its strengths and weaknesses, then focus on the area where it can be most competitive. For example, Proton has a strong reputation for its engineering capabilities, so it's focused on developing new products that leverage this strength. Second is building partnership. Proton cannot compete with larger, more established automaker on its own, like Honda or Toyota. So it needs to build partnership with other companies in order to gain access to new technologies and market. For example, Proton has partnership with Geely Automobile of China to develop new models. The last one is being agile. So automotive industry is constantly changing. So Proton needs to be able to adapt to this change quickly. This means being able to develop a new product quickly and being able to change its market strategies as needed. So the next part I will pass to Sasikala.
Thank you, Lutfie. Next, we are going to see about the environment effect in proton in differentiation and integration. As shown in the figure, each department interacted with different external groups. The differences that evolve among these departments within Proton are due to their different roles and external interaction. The R&D department is more focused on innovation and long-term planning. The manufacturing department is more focused on efficiency and cost effectiveness. The sales department is more focused on customer satisfaction and market share. These differences can sometimes lead to conflict between the departments. For example, the R&D department may want to develop a new product that is not feasible for the manufacturing department to produce, or the sales department may want to offer a discount that the manufacturing department cannot afford to give. Next slide. By understanding the differences between these departments, Proton can better manage their interaction and ensure that they are working together towards the same goal. As we can see from the table below, these are the three departments: R&D, manufacturing, and sales department, which is their role and external interaction. Next slide, please. Next, we are going to see the environment effects, organic versus mechanistic. The environment effect, organic versus mechanistic management process of Proton company consists of three mainly: competition, technology, and regulation. This factor, the environment, can also affect Proton's need for a more organic or mechanistic management process in other way. For example, if Proton is operating in a global market, it may need to be more flexible and adaptable in order to respond to different culture and markets. This will suggest a more organic management process. However, if Proton is operating in a more stable domestic market, it may able to get away with more mechanistic management process. Next. Here is the table that summarizes the difference between organic and mechanistic management process. The best management process for Proton will depend on the specific factors of the environment in which it operates. However, by understanding the differences between organic and mechanistic management process, Proton can be better prepared to make the right decision for its specific situation. This is the table that shows the organic and mechanistic characteristic. Next, I pass to Lutfie.
Okay, thank you, Sasikala. Now I explain about the technique to control financial resources in the external environment. Next slide. So Proton Berhad can utilize various techniques to control financial resources in the external environment. So there are 4 key techniques that company can employ. The first one is the financial planning. Proton should develop comprehensive financial plan that align with its strategies. And this involves setting financial goals, forecasting revenue and expenses, and also creating budget for different department and project. Second one is the continuous monitoring and adaptation. So Proton should continuously monitor the external financial environment, stay updated with the market trend, economic condition, and regulatory changes. The third is stakeholder relationship management. So maintaining strong relationship with key stakeholders such as investor, creditor, and financial institution is vital for Proton's financial resources control. Proton should communicate effectively with stakeholders, provide timely and accurate financial information, and address their concern and expectation. And last one is the cost management. So implementing cost management techniques can help Proton control its financial resources. This include identifying cost-saving opportunities, optimizing operational efficiency, and reducing unnecessary expenses. The next slide, conclusion, I will pass to Sasikala.
Here we come for the conclusion. As a conclusion, the external environment of Proton Malaysia, like any other automotive company, is influenced by various factors that can impact its operation, competitiveness, and growth. Proton operates in a highly competitive automotive industry, both domestically and globally. It faces competition from other local and international car manufacturers, each striving to capture the market share. It is important for Proton Malaysia to closely monitor and analyze the external environment, anticipate changes, and adapt its strategy accordingly. By staying aware of market dynamic, emerging trends, and customer preference, Proton can position itself for sustained growth and maintain its competitiveness in the automotive industry. That's all from us. Thank you.